Hello guys, welcome to Ramta Solutions. Welcome to your second video on return probability. Today we are looking at theoretical probability. Right, so theoretical probability, or simply probability, it is basically the likelihood of an event to occur. This is what we have been reporting all along. Remember in the first video, the introduction video, we introduced this. But let's proceed. Now, theoretical probability, or simply probability, is reported as a decimal number between 0, or rather, let me call it a real number between 0 and 1, meaning it ranges from 0 point whatever to 1. You can also report it as a fraction. You can also report it as a percentage. Okay, you can report it as a fraction or a percentage as well. Okay, now, when we calculate probability, we use the following formula. I will say probability, maybe let me use a bigger font size because it's a formula. Probability of, let's say, event E is equal to number of outcomes of event E over sample space. Okay, over sample space. Okay, over sample space. So let me highlight this. Now, I am going to define these once again. So this, we call it probability. So what is it? It's probability of your event. Okay, probability of event E. Okay, and what is this? This is number of outcomes of event. Okay, number of outcomes of event E. Okay, and what is this? This is total number of outcomes of, I'm going to say the experiment, okay, of the experiment. So when I say the experiment, I'm basically saying the trial. So if your experiment is tossing of a coin, you know that a coin has two chances possible. Can land on tail. It can land on tail or it can land on head. If it's a rolling of a die, you have 6 chances possible. So the total number of outcomes of this experiment, which is to roll a die, it will be 6. Now the event is whatever the outcome that you're looking for. Okay, so this we defined in the introductory video. So let's proceed now. So probability can also be drawn or represented on a scale. I'm gonna just draw this and I'm gonna say to you, let's say your probability is 0 or 1. What does it mean? And this one here will be 0.5. What does it mean if your probability is 0? It means this event is impossible to happen, isn't it? It means this event is impossible to happen. All both. Now, when it is 1, what does it mean? It means it is certain to happen. So this will happen no matter what. So when it's 0.5, it is equally likely. Okay, it is equally likely to occur. Okay, remember guys, with probabilities, except for 0 and 1, with your probabilities, you have two outcomes you can get. You can either get that event occurring or not occurring. So if you say, for example, your probability, let me use this color here. If you say your probability here is 0.2, it does not mean that, because it's a lower chance, which is 0.2, it means that it will not happen. No, it can choose the 0.2 or it can choose the remaining 0.8. Right? So remember, probability doesn't mean you will happen completely. What will happen certainly will be probability of 1. What will not happen will be probability of 0. Okay, but any probability in between, even if it's 90, it doesn't mean that it will happen exactly. It means that it can also happen that something else, which is 10%, can happen instead of that which you are expecting, which is 90%. Okay, please understand, with probability, The fact that you have a lower probability doesn't mean that an event will not occur. It can occur. And the fact that you have a higher probability doesn't mean that that event will certainly occur. The opposite of it can occur. Okay? Perfect. All right. Now, this is all that we need to talk about. Now, let's head to worked examples. So we're going to do some worked examples. Let's now deal with worked examples. I'm going to try about 3 examples in total. Okay, 3. I think they will be sufficient. So example 1, I'm going to say, what is the probability that a toss is head? Okay, what is the probability that a toss is head? So, to answer this, maybe let me use a different color. To answer this, we will say sample space. What is our sample space? It is head and tail. So how many outcomes in total are here? In total, we have about 1 and 2. So we have about 2 outcomes. Now remember, the question was, what is the probability that a toss is head? So let's answer our question now. Probability that a coin will show head is number of outcomes of head over sample space. So how many heads do you see in this set? You only see it once, right? So it's 1. And what is the total? You said it's 2. You can leave it as 1 over 2, or you can leave it as 1 over 2 is 0.5, or you can leave it as a percentage, which is 50%, right? So you can leave it like this, either of these 3. You don't have to write all of them. When you get a fraction, please try to simplify your fraction before you say, this is it. Try to simplify it, okay? All right. So this is your probability now. Okay, now let's try another example. So example 2, we're going to say, perhaps let's look at this. Are we going to say, what is the probability that for, okay, what is the probability that a die rolled, I'm going to say 3, okay, that a die rolled 3. So to answer this question, we must ask ourselves, what is the sample space of a dice, or of a die? Dice. So of a die, a die has 6 sides, and each are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? Each side is labeled a number there, right? So what is our sample space? Our sample space is 6. As you can see, there are 6 entries here, or 6 elements, right? Now, what is the probability that you rolled 3? What is the probability that you rolled 3? Probability that you rolled 3 is number of outcomes of rolled 3 or rolling 3 over sample space. So when you look at your total outcomes, how many times do you see 3? You see it once. And what is your total of outcomes? We said 6. We counted them individually, it's 6. So this is your probability. Probability that a die rolled 3 is 1 over 6. And it makes sense. I have never seen a die that has 3 marked twice. A die will always mark from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't repeat any marking, right? Okay, perfect. Now let's try one last example. So this example, I think I should make it slightly different, and I'm going to use the case of a die. So let us now say, what is the probability of a die showing a factor of 4, showing a factor of, let me say 6, showing a factor of 6. Okay, so to answer this question, our sample space again, what is it? A die has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Whenever you roll a die, you can see, you can either get any of this. All right, you can get any of this, right? Now, how many are they in total? You have 6 that you can get. One of the 6, in fact, that you can get. Now, the question says, what is the probability of a die showing a factor of 6? So now let's look for a factor of 6. Okay, guys, since you're in grade 10, I believe you know what is a factor. You have known this from way back, from grade 5. A factor, 6 can be divided by 1. So 1 is a factor. 6 can be divided by 2. 2 is a factor. It can also be divided by 3. It cannot be divided by 5. It cannot be divided by 4, but it can be divided by 6. So these are the factors of 6. What are they? 1, 2, 3, and 6. So the number of outcomes of factors of 6 is, how many did we count? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4. Now, what is the probability of a factor of 6? It is number of outcomes of factor of 6 over sample space. What is this? This is, we said total number of outcomes that are a factor of 6 are 4. Now, total outcome for rolling a die is 6. That is your sample space, isn't it? Now this, we can simplify. It will be 2 over 3. You can leave it like this. Otherwise, 67%, but there's no need. Leave it like this. 2 over 3. Okay? So this is your theoretical probability, and this is where I am leaving it. So remember, guys, if you would like to get in touch with us, you can visit our website, www.ramtasolutions.co.za. You can, at the top of our website, you will see all these icons. If you click on any of them, they will open, this will open your Facebook, your X, and your Instagram. You can follow us on these social media platforms. And of course, you're watching this on YouTube. You can subscribe if you have enjoyed this lesson and you don't want to miss out on the next uploads. Okay? And if you are looking for a tutor, you can click on this icon or this icon here, which is an email or WhatsApp. You can contact us on WhatsApp or email. Please, when you contact us on WhatsApp, specify exactly what you're looking for. For example, what grade you are doing and whether you want physical classes or online classes. Let us know and we will assist you. Okay? So with that being said, guys, we appreciate your time with us. So, bye-bye.